Hello friends, if you're using AWS and you want to create some kind of automation, or if you want to run AWS commands from your own system, laptop, or you want to connect it remotely. In all cases, you would need AWS CLI to be installed and put in place. So depending on your operating system, the laptop you are using or the machine you are using, it could be Windows, Ubuntu or MacBook, you can install AWS CLI, and this is the video where you are going to learn how exactly we are going to do that. So let's say I'm having this AWS instance running, right? Everything is set up, your ID, etc., everything is there, but I want to now access it from my command prompt. So in that case, I would need it to be installed. The AWS CLI has to be installed on my system. So if you go on this official documentation of AWS, you will find the instruction to install, update and uninstalling the AWS CLI, and there are different platforms: Python, Amazon Linux, Mac OS, Windows. So AWS CLI install, update and installation instruction for different operating system and platforms are already available. So you can follow the instruction. So let's say you are using Windows, you can click on the Windows and you can see how exactly this has to be set up, how exactly it has to be installed. In my case, since I'm using MacBook, I can follow the Homebrew update also. So Homebrew package manager, through that also I can do the installation. So the installation is very simple through Homebrew, that is brew install AWS CLI, and this is the only command which I need to run. And if I run this command brew install AWS CLI, which I have just run it, right? So you will be able to see how exactly what it does. It will first update your Homebrew. First it will update your Homebrew, and then it will download all dependencies, packages, and finally your AWS CLI will be installed, and whatever temporary files will be there, that will be cleaned up. So that's how AWS CLI can be installed through Homebrew, and this is how you can see how many steps it has performed. And finally, once it is installed, you can run this command AWS or AWS help. So let me run AWS help. So you will be able to get all these options, and this is only possible once AWS CLI is there. Now the first thing you will have to do once your AWS CLI is installed, obviously you can follow the instruction depending on your operating system, and that will be done. So the first thing you will have to be doing is you have to configure your AWS CLI so that it can connect to your instance. So this is your instance, but how does your system know that which instance it has to connect? And when you say you want to fetch resources, so let's say AWS S3 LS. So if you say, it would say that invalid access token or there is no access token defined. So access token is something which we need to define as the next step. So for that we need to put the command AWS configure. Using this command you can simply configure your AWS CLI. So first thing, it is asking AWS access key ID. So now let's go and create the AWS access key ID. So here you have to go into the, go to security credentials. In these security credentials, you will find the access keys here listed, and here you have to choose your access key. So click on this create access key. If you have already created, that's fine. So I'm going to create access key. I understand creating a root access key. So either you can create it for root user or you can create for any other user. So it will just tell that you accept the risk or not. So first thing, I can either use it directly or I can copy and paste it, or I can download as the CSV file. So you can see this is created. I have copied the access key. Let's paste it here. Access key is pasted, and don't worry, I will delete it immediately. So this one is also copied, and this is there. Now default region is US East 1. We will take that. You can choose any other region also if you want. Then default output will be JSON only, but if you want to change it, you can. That's it. Now if you see that if I run this command AWS S3 LS, this should be running that. So since I don't have any S3 instance, it is not giving any output. But you can see that the error I was getting here, that error is gone, and which means that our connection is working fine and AWS is able to connect to our AWS instance. So this connection between AWS CLI and AWS instance has been established. Now I'm not downloading it. Done. You haven't viewed or downloaded your secret keys. No issues. Continue. And I'm going to delete these access keys immediately. So there is no need to worry about that. So delete, and it says you have to copy and paste that to confirm. First we have to deactivate, then we have to paste and delete. Similarly, this one I will go deactivate. So once your job is over, or you think that your access key has been exposed, so you have to clean and delete that also. That is very important, so that there are no security risk. And this one, copy and delete it. So you can see both the access keys are gone. So if we go here again, and now I try to run AWS S3 LS, you would see I will again get that error. See, error occurred, invalid access key ID. So which means the access is gone, our access key is not there now. So I hope this video would help you to configure AWS CLI on your system also. I will put this link in the description so that you can use these links directly, and you can install it either through Homebrew or for Windows or for any other kind of operating system. Bye, take care. If it has helped you, don't forget to like and do subscribe to get similar videos also in future. Bye, take care.